everybody knows all the talk that's gone on from Chael Sonnen. How do you feel about Chael's talk coming into this fight? How has it affected you and how you prepared for this fight?
Todo mundo sabe todas as coisas que ele está falando, como você se sente de tudo que ele está falando.
Pô, falar de mim é fácil, difícil é ser eu, né?
He said to talk about me is easy, try being me.
Dana, for Chael, do you have any regrets for what you said before, like if you bow in Brazil, you can have your wallet stolen or something like that?
No, I would never apologize for anything.
He gets in the ring and he likes to bow. He doesn't come from a bowing culture. If you bow in Brazil, they'll hit you over your head and take your wallet and walk off laughing.
Anderson Silva is easily the most unpopular fighter in this company.
There's this dirtbag named Anderson Silva.
I don't want to fight Anderson. I want to beat him down. I want to destroy Anderson.
When Anderson Silva walks into a room, you could hear a rat piss on cotton.
He's got a black belt under the Nogueira brothers.
Yeah.
I think a black belt under the Nogueira brothers is saying I got a free toy at my Happy Meal.
People tell me he's a great fighter. I say, really? When did you see him fight?
I'm here purely to win the world championship, period. And it doesn't have a lot to do with Anderson. Getting to beat up Anderson is just a bonus.
He can go dance and be the Michael Jackson of MMA like he likes to do.
I'm going to take his belt. I'm going to hurt him real bad.
His running is done. His 15 minutes of fame are up.
This is going to be a one-sided pounding, and I'm swinging the hammer.
Has he lit a fire under you for this fight? No. Not literally, but no fire.
Chael Sonnen has always talked like this. I mean, before a fight, he says some crazy. And I think right now people are just noticing it because he's the main event.
This is the way it should be. It should be the Chael Sonnen show. I'm the one they're tuning in to see. I'm the one that's selling out the arena, not him.
The crazier thing about what this guy says is I think he 100% believes it. He believes everything that he says. And I think that he's going to go in there and go after Anderson on Saturday.
Is this thing on? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pre-funk of Anderson Silva's retirement party, hosted by yours truly tomorrow night.
Chael Sonnen is the thought to mud and disrespect me and talk to my masters. My masters say I finish Chael in the ground. This is for my team, for Team Nogueira.
Presenting the reigning, defending UFC undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Anderson, the fighter Silva.
UFC middleweight championship is on the line. Let's fight! Here we go! Oh my! Whatever it takes. Oh, he rocked him! He hurt him! Big shot by Chael Sonnen! Uppercut again! Sonnen strikes early! Wow! And shot! This is where Chael Sonnen shines! How much wear and tear can he put on Silva? Oh my! And he shot his hand down again! Longest win streak in UFC history is in serious jeopardy. And he nails it! Wow. Another round for Chael Sonnen in the books. Chael Sonnen believes he is 5 minutes away from achieving his lifelong athletic dream of being a world champion. Oh, he tagged him! Again, he got him! Rocked him! Unbelievable! Now the fight has been taken to Anderson Silva like we have never seen before. I mean, is it too early for Chael to start celebrating? And he's going to keep doing this. 11-fight win streak could very well be coming to an end. A record-setting win. Triangle! This is trouble! This is trouble! Can he choke out Chael Sonnen? Can Anderson Silva? Chael's got his legs. He's got his legs across. That's what he's got. It is all over! It is all over! Wait a minute, what's going on here? Did he tap? What's happening here? Anderson Silva saying he tapped. Let's see it again here. There's the right hand. That's a tap. It is all over! Unbelievable!
When I finish Chael, I see in my mind, so let's see, I prove for the people, I prove for Chael, because Nogueira brothers have the great jiu-jitsu, and now this guy I need to respect more Brazilian people.
This was a legendary fight tonight. This was one of those fights that, you know, yes, Anderson Silva went up a notch tonight.
Look, there's a camaraderie that comes with this sport that's inevitable. But fighting Anderson Silva is a lot like eating Chinese food. And 20 minutes after I do it, I'm going to want to do it again.
You know, this is not an excuse, but about a week and a half ago, I was training with Ishii. He came to train with Lyoto, and I had a bad injury to my rib. The doctor told me that I didn't want to for me not to fight, but I believe that the show must go on.
He comes out and says, "My ribs hurt." Well, of course your ribs hurt, Anderson. Your ribs got the same problem that your hand and feet have. They're attached to a cowardly charlatan named Anderson Silva.
To be honest with you, I don't really have anything against Chael. You know, this is a sport. You know, what happens inside the ring it's a fight, but outside the ring, you know, that whatever it is, it's in the past.
I have one goal, it's to be the world champion, and I'm not backing off that goal because of tonight's decision.
27th win overall for Chael Sonnen in front of that man, his arch-rival, UFC middleweight champion Anderson Silva.
It was spur of the moment. I saw him sitting in the crowd. You know, we've got unfinished business, and they're talking about somebody else coming in there. That this is me and him, you know, and frankly, it's me then him.
Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck.
In some parallel universe, you could hit a man 300 times, he wraps his legs around your head for 8 seconds, and they call him the winner.
Super Bowl weekend, the biggest rematch in the history of the business. I'm calling you out, Silva, but we're up in the stakes.
I am the middleweight champion. I defended my championship tonight for the first time, and I am willing to give Anderson a shot at the true belt, the linear belt, the people's belt, from the best damn middleweight there's ever been.
I beat you. You leave the division. You beat me. I will leave the UFC forever.
Ariel Helwani post-fight at UFC.
Ariel, is that camera big enough to take in the largest arm in Westland, Oregon that has found its way to Houston, Texas? Because that thing looks a little bit small.
Yeah, I think it is.
All right, well then we can continue. Well, first off, I offer absolutely zero apologies. And secondly, listen, guys, if you're not willing to go too far, you will never go far enough in life. And I don't care. I don't promote fights. I pick fights. I'm like John Jones. I sound like Sean Combs. And I got trombone-sized stones like John Holmes. I got one guy in my sights. I can't stand him. He keeps me up at night, and I'm going to take care of him through bowl weekend.
Playtime is over. He can say whatever he wants. Like I said it last week, and I'll say it again. It's over. On Saturday, a lot of things are going to change. It's going to be much different after Saturday.
Anderson's a dirtbag, and he's also a bully. And he also ducked me for 4 years.
All right, I'm here with Chael Sonnen. Chael, the talk is done, but it is quite obvious that all this talk has gotten into Anderson's head. Tomorrow night is the biggest fight in UFC history. Give us your thoughts.
Champion versus icon. Myth versus legend. Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen, the fake guy versus the bad guy, and only on pay-per-view.
Chael Sonnen, ladies and gentlemen. Anderson, this is the most emotional that I have ever seen you get for a fight. Give us your thoughts on Chael Sonnen and what tomorrow night means to you.
I don't have nothing. I don't respect Chael. Chael don't respect nothing. Chael don't respect UFC. Chael don't respect my country. Tomorrow, I go to fight.
Anderson the Spider Silva versus Chael Sonnen. We will see you all tomorrow night. drops again. We are underway. There's that power double. Takedown by Sonnen. 5 seconds into this fight. Those were hard punches. That's the first time he got a free arm and really rained down some good shots. Round 1 to Sonnen again. Again, Sonnen pushes forward.
Hold the shorts!
He said it amongst many things. I'm going to put my head in his chest. I'm going to put him on his back.
Look at this. Anderson has a hold of Chael's leg here. Separation by Anderson.
Silva trying to tee off now. Look at that. Chael will give him no space, Joe. And now Anderson starting to throw the strikes. Can he avoid getting taken down? So far. Wow, good takedown defense by Silva. And that was something an early turning point. That is an early turning point in this fight. That's a knee.
Was that a knee to the face?
Yes, it was. That could be deemed a knee to a downed opponent. But the action continues. Anderson. Big right hand. Looking to finish the fight.
Chael's in trouble.
It is all over. Anderson Silva remains the UFC middleweight champion.
Nobody owes me anything. I'm very grateful to be here and to have the chance. And it's a true champion, man.
Chael, not only does he talk a mean game, he goes in and he fights, man. He said that he wasn't afraid of Anderson Silva, and he went in and he fought Anderson Silva like he wasn't. Anderson Silva came out in the second round and did what he did. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. He's the greatest fighter in the history of mixed martial arts.
I'm happy. I'm finished my working. I finished my job. I'm very happy for the working here in UFC. That's it.
There seems to be some question about whether Anderson was holding onto your trunks and whether that prevented you from moving the way you might have wanted to move to get away from some of the punches. Can you comment on those two things?
Yeah, Anderson grabbed my trunks, but I grabbed his right back, man. It goes both ways, and we can't sit and nitpick, you know, some of that stuff. It's a two-man sport. It's kind of like moving the chains in football. It evens itself out. What goes around comes around. If Anderson grabbed my shorts tonight, I'll grab somebody else's down the road.
The knee in the second round, where did it connect? There's some people who are not sure where it connected.
I don't know, maybe in the chest.
It's very important when you lose a fight that you don't say things like, my opponent was better tonight. The better guy wins every time. The better guy won tonight.
Welcome to Fair Game. I'm Christine Leahy, and my guest today was one of the toughest, most charismatic fighters to ever step foot in the octagon. Former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping.
What do you want next, man? There's an idiot called Luke Rockhold who doesn't stop talking about me. I think he has the hots for me, to be honest. Luke Rockhold, you called me out. If you want to do it, let's dance. Here I am. Luke very kindly came down to help me spar one day. And on this TV show, they were asking me about how the sparring session went with Luke. And then I laughed and I went, well, let's just say I'm the unofficial Strikeforce champion. And I laughed. Everybody laughed. And then I even looked at the camera. I said, sorry, Luke, I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
He's a dick to everybody. You know, I'm going to put him in his place for myself and a lot of people.
Rockhold and Bisping have similar personalities, and they rub each other the wrong way.
You guys be actually knocking the floor. Plenty. What? Many. Never seen it. I made an off-the-cuff remark. I was having a laugh.
Tasteless
okay?
remark.
Well, whatever. That was a long time ago.
Tasteless.
Now we're going to fight. And I'll knock that smug look off your face off, believe you me.
Bisping's a guy, he opened his mouth, so I'd love to shut him up for good.
If that lanky streak of piss wants to get it on, I have no problem. A lot of tension, a lot of animosity going into this fight. No tension from me, pal. No tension from me. This is just another day at the office. This is what I do. I'm here to take care of business, show these good people a great fight, and knock this wanker out in the process. Michael Bisping, ladies and gentlemen.
Tired of talking, it's time to fight. If
If you enjoy the talk, just wait till you see the fight.
Well, it's been a long time coming. Luke Rockhold versus Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping complaining of a headbutt, and we can see some damage to the left eye of Michael Bisping. So the fighters have been reset.
Rockhold looks very relaxed, doesn't look like the emotions getting to him at all. Oh, it's a good straight left from Rockhold.
Big searching shot there from Rockhold.
Beautiful, really nice. Oh, the head kick! Bisping's down! Oh, that could be it! This could be the finish! Bisping's hurt, there's a guillotine! Oh, wow!
Mountain guillotine!
You know, I was pissed off. You know, I don't like people talking about training, and you know, I mean, it was a joke, whatever, but you know, it's in the past now. You know, I don't think we'll ever be friends, but I got a lot of respect for Michael. He's a warrior, and he'll get in it with anybody, and he works hard, and he gives it everything he's got, man. The guy, I got respect for that. Give it up for Michael.
Luke was the better man tonight. Congratulations. All the trash talk aside, you got to respect the guy. He's a solid competitor. Well done. Listen, what can I say? It's back to the drawing board. I'm going nowhere. Don't you forget it.
You got nothing but respect for the guy in the cage. He's a true fighter. He's always fought clean, and you know, he's had some unfortunate fights in the past, and you know, a lot of unfair fights. But I mean, the guy fights tooth and nail to the end, every fight, and he fights clean. I got nothing but respect for that, and he came to fight, and you know, I don't think we'll ever be best friends outside, but you know, I respect him inside the octagon.
Luke,
without.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So then your career advances, and then you have to wait 10 years before you finally get your title shot. And the way it happened was really interesting.
Dana, who is it? Who's going to fight Luke Rockhold in UFC 199?
The next guy in line is Michael Bisping.
The guy, the challenger for the main event, for the title fight, got injured, so they needed someone to step in. So, you know, volunteered my services. It was about 12 days, I think.
Given 2 weeks into close to the fight, I thought we had a fight, but I knew we had options. I knew we had Bisping. I knew we had Jacare. Obviously, I wanted Bisping. He's got a mouthpiece. He can sell a fight on 2 weeks' notice. And so I preferred that fight, and I asked for that fight.
When you get Rockhold and Bisping together, it's literally comedy. I mean, the guys hate each other. They're very opinionated on each other, and basically just sitting there ripping each other apart.
This guy, nobody gives a about. He's a champion that no one cares about.
I know I'm the underdog, and I know I deserve to be the underdog. Luke's an incredible fighter, but nothing about Luke scares me. It really doesn't. And I have the ability to beat this guy, believe you me. There's nothing about Luke that scares me, so why would I hesitate? Not for 1 second. I'm taking this fight, yes, on short notice, but that doesn't matter. I hit as hard and as fast in the first week of camp as I do in the last week of camp. All the pressure is on him. I'm winning this fight. I'm taking that belt.
It's his destiny, right? That's what he calls it. It's his destiny is to be my...
If you believe in something, if you know something is going to happen, if you're confident in that situation, you will achieve things in life. That's how you overcome things. That's how you put yourself out there. You believe it and you achieve it. And that's what I do. I know what I'm going to do. I know that I'm better than this.
Sounds like the worst self-help book you've ever read. Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up. I've worked my ass off for all of this. Nothing was ever given to me. I've worked my ass off, and I will finish. I will take this final chapter in my journey and become the world champion.
Bisping thinks this is going to be his fairy tale. I will have none of that. This will be his swan song.
Luke Rockhold owns a victory over me. I want to rectify that. I want to set the record straight. So yes, I want to be the victor. I want to be the world champion. But I also want to beat Luke Rockhold.
I f***ing knocked you out and choked you out, and you still have the audacity to run your mouth.
Good, you did.
That is the most amazing thing about you, Bisping.
Hey, I'm not denying you.
I know you can't see straight, but you obviously can't think straight either. You're just an average bloke. You're just an average bloke.
Good use of English.
I'm a f***ing samurai. I'm gonna come in there silent, undetected, and I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna make my kill, and I'm gonna fucking be out.
You're making a
I'll be out on the next contract. Watch me.
I can't wait for Saturday, guys.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Michael,
I get to walk in on 2 weeks' notice.
I get to punch him in the face and become world champion at the same time. I am a happy man.
Yeah, Michael, it's my destiny. I actually wanted to ask you.
Yeah, it is. You just said, believe it, it will come real. It is my destiny. I believe, Luke. I believe.
Knowing something and making it happen. Watch.
Believe it, buddy.
Yeah.
Dreams do come true. 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 hours. I don't care. I'll take on anyone, anytime, any place. Certainly this asshole.
I've been in the UFC for over 10 years, okay? I've fought the best in the world. I've had my ups and my downs, but you can't keep a good man down. I'm here. I do believe this is my destiny. This guy, Luke Rockhold, I know is a great fighter, but I'll tell you this, there's not a single person in the world I would rather take the belt off than this smug right here.
Credit to Bisping. He's earned his shot. He's worked his way back up the ladder. But he's going to find out there's levels to this game. It's time to penetrate that thick skull and make him realize his true destiny. That's behind the desk.
For 10 years, over 40 professional fights. I can feel what it's gonna be like when I look at my wife in the eyes. And I know that we did it after that decision to quit work and move away all those years ago, and I left her alone, broke as hell, slept in my car night after night in the middle of cold. And here it is. It comes down to this. This is my destiny. It's there for the taking. I believe in myself, and I will take that belt.
For the undisputed UFC Middleweight Championship of the World. Fighting out of Manchester, England, presenting the Ultimate Fighter Season 3 winner and the #4 ranked middleweight contender in the world, the challenger, Michael the Count Bisping!
Luke Rockhold, Michael Bisping, 5 rounds of fighting for the UFC Middleweight Championship of the World.
Michael, even though he took this fight on short notice, he has a very high level of fitness.
Constant movement, lots of strikes, as Rockhold utilizing those great kicks that we've seen so often. Rockhold has this air of invincibility mentally right now as well. Never more confident.
Because anything can happen at any given moment. You're seeing home watch this, and you just go, holy shit.
Ready? Good looking, good fight. Good looking out, good job. It's okay, you'll come to.
Undisputed UFC Middleweight Champion of the World, Michael the Count
To see him finally achieve the one thing he really wanted to achieve, it was a special night. I was happy for him.
That guy's such a dick. I mean, you show your true colors after a fight, and that fucking guy comes up to me and says, "You know where you are?" Like, I picked you up off the canvas and gave you respect. That guy's a piece of shit, and I want to come kill him.
How do you feel getting revenge?
Oh, I don't know. Some say revenge is sweet. I disagree. I think it's better than sweet. Luke, come on, buddy. When the shoe was on the other foot, I leaned over and thanked you at this moment in time. I said, well done.
Yeah, and I actually picked you up off the canvas. And you, being the dick you are, came up to me and was a bitch
I shook
about
your
it.
hand, and you said, I already shook your hand, and told me to off, basically.
You asked me, do you know who you are? Do you know where you are, buddy?
Yeah, that's after you.
Yeah,
Hey, buddy, you got out. You got knocked out, buddy. Sit down, shut up.
You got lucky.
All right,
lucky.
Yeah, real lucky.
Bisping.
First round, buddy.
First round.
What an asshole, guys.
I will come back and kill you.
Listen, you know, for everything that's said and done, I respect Luke a lot. I think he's a fantastic fighter, and we've had our ups and downs along the way. I have nothing against the guy, I really don't. And he's an incredible fighter, and I want to thank him for bringing out the best in me. You know, because when you're faced with a challenge like that, you have to rise to a certain level. And I do. And I know for all the bullshit, Luke, come on. We're just two individuals trying to achieve greatness and be at the top of our game. So, you know, I'm being a little jovial right now. Of course, I'm in the best mood ever, so I'm being a little bit silly. But I respect Luke. I respect Luke greatly. And he has a victory over me, and I have one over him now.
The UFC 2019 Hall of Fame ceremony is just around the corner. And with that, we are excited to announce the first inductee into this year's class. A pioneer of UK mixed martial arts. He is somewhat a national treasure who goes by the name The Count.
Ronda, you said during your media appearances all week, win or lose, you were going to go down to 135 pounds and set your sights on Miesha Tate. After tonight's performance, is that still your future plan?
Yes, that's still what I want to do. Please strike first. Let me get a crack at her first. I really want to have a title fight against Miesha Tate.
Everything you need in a fighter, she has, yet she's a woman and she's beautiful. The Ronda Rousey package is different than any other package we've ever seen. She's incredibly talented, she's mean, she's nasty, and she's dangerous.
Ronda came along and she was kind of just marching to the beat of her own drum and was different than anything that I was ever used to. And I was kind of like, whoa, why is this chick being so disrespectful? Like, why would she say that stuff? I was like, she's just kind of come out of nowhere. She's not even in my weight division. And like, now she's talking all this smack. Like, who is this girl? And I kind of fired some of my own shots back, and then, from there things escalated, and that's really where the rivalry began.
Everything about her is better on paper. Her fights look better on paper. Photos look better on paper than she does in person. Her trash talking looks much better on paper than it actually is if you listen to her talk.
The thing about Ronda is that, she's a very, kind of a self-righteous person. She cares more about herself than she does about the sport of women's MMA.
I don't have much respect for the inconsistency of her attitude. It seems to kind of reflect that she has a little bit of a weak personality.
I don't think Ronda is ready. I don't think she knows what she's getting herself into. I think she have a rude awakening. She's been talking all this smack, and she thinks she knows everything about everything when it comes to mixed martial arts.
I just think it's kind of hilarious that Miesha said she doesn't like me or anything that I've done, but then she just said that I helped make her dreams come true. So that's a little bit of a contradiction.
I don't really listen to much of anything Ronda says. I don't watch her interviews. I get a little bit of that drift that comes through Twitter, quoting people, oh, she said this, she said that, and half the time I really honestly think it just makes her sound like an idiot.
I'm just an athlete, and she's some chick that decided in high school it'd be cool to wrestle, and a few years later decided it'd be cool to do MMA. I mean, this has been my entire life, and in comparison, this is just a fad to her.
She was fighting a weight class above me, and then she's like, I can't make 135, and then it was like, oh, I'm gonna make 135, and I'm gonna come down there and slap that title out of her hands. And she really kind of came across as like really cocky and arrogant.
It really seems like the only girls that don't like me are either champions or former champions that have this sense of entitlement that everyone should throw pedals at their feet.
I genuinely don't like her. I cannot stand the thought of losing to her, and I'm willing to do everything and anything in my power to take my belt home with me.
I want the women to steal the show. I want everyone to be like, oh my God, I want to see another women's fight again. I want to see these girls again. We need more of this. I just want it to be exciting. And of course I want to win.
It's incredibly tough. You wouldn't believe how hard it is to know that I'm going to be able to punch her, but not yet. I want it so bad. So I'm really pumped for this fight, and I don't even know what to expect for myself, like I've said, because I am just heated.
I see the same thing every time. It's just her trying not to blink and trying to look tough. But this time she actually had the audacity to touch her forehead on mine, and I had to pull out my inner Nick Diaz and push back.
She's been doing a lot of trash talking. I've done some responding, but when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter who runs their mouth more. It matters who puts it on in the cage, and I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to show her why 4-0 she doesn't belong in there with me.
What can fans expect? They expect the best damn women's fight they've ever seen in their lives.
Okay, fighters, you know the rules. We went over them earlier. I expect you to fight according to those rules. I also understand we are not touching gloves.
Let's fight! Referee Mark Matheny calls for the bell, and we are underway, and immediately Miesha Tate comes out swinging.
Miesha Tate with the first strike.
And the takedown by Rousey. Flipping for the armbar, the opening minute and a Ready, the longest fight of Ronda Rousey's career. Tate looking for the back now, has her hooks in.
Beautiful job of pulling her down and getting the back.
Backs up the challenger. Back to the punch, and there's that judo hip toss by Rousey. But no, she has full mount, now ground and pound.
Looking for the arm again, here she goes.
And again now, transitioning to the arm. Less than a minute remaining in the first round. Ronda Rousey extending the arm. Tate hanging on, desperately trying to survive. It's over. Rousey has done it. 5 first-round armbar submissions. Ronda Rousey is the new Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion.
That was a fight worthy of a men's fight. 2 incredibly talented women that are very well-rounded, and it doesn't hurt when they're both beautiful too. In the next 10 years, if there's a woman in the octagon, it's probably going to be Ronda Rousey.
I'm going to make it official right now. The first ever UFC Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey.
I used to just watch The Ultimate Fighter, and now I'm coaching against Kat Zingano on stream.
I knew they were going to set me up with something. Hi.
I'm here to coach.
You're here to coach?
I am.
Coach what? The other
Ultimate
team?
Fighter.
Are you with helping Kat's team out?
I think I'll leave the explaining to Dana, but...
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Where is he at?
So Kat Zingano blew her knee out. She's literally in surgery right now. Literally having surgery right this minute. So your buddy graciously stepped up and said she would love to coach this season of The Ultimate Fighter.
You just gave me half a heart attack.
She doesn't even.
I thought you like kicked me off.
On this season of The Ultimate Fighter.
The thing about Ronda is she hates Miesha Tate, and Miesha Tate likes to push her buttons.
Can you please move away from my boyfriend? I'm really not sitting near your boyfriend. I don't think anyone with half a brain would desire a man like that. You don't even know how to hit pads. Are you kidding me? I don't know how to hit pads? You don't even know how to throw punches. Yo, Edmund, come here. No.
Both of you don't know.
Me and Miesha have never really gotten along from the very beginning. Come on in, guys. 6 o'clock, you know the schedule. You should get here earlier if you want to stay later.
Ronda's already getting on my nerves and my team's nerves.
Smiling at my girl's pain today is one more reason to destroy you again.
Great fight. Good job yourself. Great fight. Good job.
When you have 2 coaches and you do a coach's challenge and the coaches hate each other, it's just that much worse. You do not want to lose.
I just like Miesha being in the habit of always getting beaten by me. You're used to wiping your ass with the other hand.
Ronda Rousey isn't some let's play pranks on each other and let's have fun, and she's not that chick.
I want to win this fight in the most devastating style possible.
Miesha, now that the shooting of The Ultimate Fighter has wrapped, as you look back at the experience, what was the most difficult aspect of the filming process?
It was challenging in a lot of ways, and you know, obviously Ronda Rousey and I, we're not the best of friends, so you know, dealing with each other every single day was challenging in itself, you know, for both her and I, but we did it.
She mostly just doesn't look me in the eye or talk to me a lot of the time, which I like to relate to Mike Tyson's speech about seeing the chink in the armor of when your opponent won't look you in the eye, and that's pretty much how it goes all the time.
What do you got to say about that, Miesha?
That's not what happened backstage.
I got front row seats. So many troublemakers
I'll look
here
her in the eyes right now. Where are you, Ronda? Where are you at?
There's a lot on the line. You know, Miesha was the champion, and I took the championship from her. And now the roles are reversed, and there's been no love lost in the time in between.
I don't like you, so there it is to your face. Hope that makes you happy. But you know, still maintaining a manner of professionalism doesn't mean you need to flip someone off or cuss at them when there's cameras and young girls looking at you.
Despite how much I personally don't like Miesha, I think that she's a very deserving challenger.
She likes to kind of carry herself around as this, you know, the tough girl act or whatever.
I've learned more about her personality, and I haven't really seen anything I like.
Can I see when we do our standoff whether she's shaking or not? Yes, I can.
She is shaking.
She's shaking.
If we didn't create that rivalry, I'm not sure if you know, Dana and the Fertittas would have been watching that fight in the first place. It's because people were interested in it for some reason.
I definitely think there's an element of crazy to her that I don't think I could ever reach.
How is it not a rivalry? I have everything that she wants in life.
She has a lot of things I want, but that's not what makes it a rivalry for me. It's the level of disrespect that I feel like I've always felt, and that's what makes it personal.
I have to accept that not everybody's gonna like me.
I don't want her cocky ass attitude. I don't want to be Ronda Rousey. I want to be me, but I want to be me with the belt around my waist.
Weighed in at 135 pounds. Undisputed UFC Featherweight Women's Champion of the World, Ronda Rousey.
The champion, the challenger. You ready? You ready? Let's go. Here we go. A swing in the middle of the octagon early. Nice kick by Miesha. Good kicks to the thigh by Ronda. Just not left hook by Miesha. Yeah. Oh! On top. First time Ronda Rousey will fight in round 2. Wow. Miesha's smiling. Yes, she is. Here we go. Again. She tripped her easy. Good hop kicks by Miesha. Yep. Oh, those are excellent. And it makes Ronda move away. She got punched again. She hurt her with those up kicks, Mike. Miesha now looks for the takedown. Oh, my goodness. And again, Ronda with that judo. It's just sensational. The way she capitalizes on the momentum. Perfect timing. Look at this. Miesha's looking for the arm. Wouldn't that be something? It would be insane. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Miesha lost the position, but now Ronda's on top of her with her left arm trapped. Uh-oh. She's got it extended. Oh, my goodness. Miesha trying to fight it off. Miesha's got it out of there. She's got it out of there. Wow. Beautiful job by Miesha. Wow. This is an incredible fight. Miesha's showing great defense in this fight, Mike. Miesha is a submission wrestler. Well, Ronda's got her in position now. Yeah. This is Ronda's world. And Ronda will take her forward or backwards, and that's what she just does. She's got to get that left arm out of danger. Ronda's slowly spinning her around. Still working for it. She's in trouble. Ronda Rousey remains the UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion. Wow. She went to shake Ronda's hand, and Ronda walked away from her. Wow. Miesha lasted longer than anyone in Ronda's career, but still the finish is the same as the 7 previous wins. I think what everyone's booing about is that Miesha tried to shake your hand after you tapped her and you didn't want to shake her hand, you walked away from her. Were you still emotional about all the bad blood and all the talk from the show?
For me, family comes before anything, even the boos and cheers of the crowd. And I feel like it would disrespect what she done to my family if I shook her hand. I said she did an amazing job, but I can't shake the hand of someone who spits on my back.
Our names are forever intertwined. You know, Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, it will forever go down in history as one of the best rivalries in women's mixed martial arts. I still get people asking me to this day, like, is it real? Do you really not like each other? Yeah, it's real. We really don't like each other. But you know what? I have a tremendous amount of respect for her. As an athlete, I think she's one of the greatest of all time.
It is all over! Just like that! Oh my goodness! Again!
Ronda Rousey did incredible things for the sport and for this company, and obviously for women's fighting.
And a big throwdown! And she do it right here! It's all over! The reigning, defending!
There it is, looking for the armbar. She inspired so many people, so many young women.
Looking to finish it! And it's all over! It was Ronda Rousey!
The first ever UFC Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey.
When you watch Ronda Rousey fight, it doesn't just seem like a fight. It seems like some sort of historical event that you have the privilege of watching live.
Late last month, George St-Pierre defeated Dan Hardy. You were there, cornering your brother, and a lot of people weren't happy with that fight, and they're saying, you know, the guy at 170 who will give GSP a fight is Nick Diaz. Unfortunately, he fights for Strikeforce. What do you make? I mean, is this a fight that you feel that you need to, it needs to happen regardless, and you would like to do whatever it takes to make that fight happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, George. What do you say?
That is the fight you would love to happen, right?
I wanna fight the best fighters there are out there, and I just think that we should get this thing going. You know what I'm saying?
More to that point, Dana White has said he really likes you, and we know you guys have a good relationship, but he says you need to sort of, quote unquote, learn to play the game.
Can you tell me what the status is, how you view Strikeforce fighters like Nick Diaz? Could you bring him over here to fight George if you wanted to?
I imagine I could do whatever I wanted to do if I really wanted to, but you know, we have a contract with Showtime, and he's a Showtime fighter. But that's an interesting fight.
You told us Diaz GSP. We're crazy for asking about this fight, a lot of hurdles, things like that. 2 days later, you go on Twitter and you announce that it's actually happening in October. How did you actually get the deal done?
I always say this: whatever the fight the fans want to see, it's my job to give it to them. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming today. We appreciate it. All right, so on Tuesday, September 6th, we had a press conference in Toronto for GSP versus Nick Diaz for the welterweight championship. Nick Diaz was a no-show for his Monday Air Canada flight at 1:15 p.m. out of San Francisco. Then I talked to him at 4 o'clock, and he apologized and said, rebook me a flight tonight. And he said, yeah, this, you know. I mean, you guys have interviewed Nick before. I got a bunch of gibberish, and then he told me he was getting on the plane.
I'm trying to get back to Stockton here. I was out in San Francisco last minute, trying to get on an airplane this morning to go to a press conference.
I landed in Minneapolis, Minnesota, got a text from him and said, won't be making that flight. I called him, left him a message, and he's never called me back since.
It's an act of professionalism, you know.
I called him and left him a message, which was Monday night. He still hasn't called me back yet. Then his manager, Cesar Gracie, called the offices and asked if we could book him his third flight on Tuesday night to make it to Toronto. So this time leaving from Sacramento on Southwest at 9:10 p.m., he did not show up for that flight either. Cesar Gracie's calling me. He said, we're embarrassed. I've been trying to chase Nick Diaz all around town. Nobody can find him. He's hiding from everybody. So he thinks it's as weird as we all do. I just started getting pissed, and I said, that's it, man. This is it. This kid's not going to show up in Vegas. Didn't show up in Toronto. What else isn't he going to show up for? Is he not going to show up for the fight? I'm not going to risk that.
The UFC did an amazing job, set up everything, the press conference, the promotion, everything. I show up to do my job, but Nick Diaz did not show up to do his job.
Nick Diaz obviously can't handle the pressure of a main event of this magnitude. That's what I think.
This thing means everything to me. I just don't understand how come someone don't show up to an opportunity like this. It's I just can't believe it. It's amazing. I don't know what to say. It's crazy, you know.
So Nick Diaz has lost his opportunity at the welterweight championship, and Carlos Condit gets it.
The UFC wanted me to fight for the title against George St-Pierre, and now they're telling me that they're going to give the fight to Carlos Condit. So I guess that just leaves me out.
UFC President Dana White answered the question, what would happen if one of his fighters didn't show up for 2 scheduled press conferences? Well, they lose their title shot after Nick Diaz was absent, leaving his opponent, George St-Pierre, alone to deal with the media in both Toronto and Las Vegas. Well, Dana White pulled him from the championship bout and replaced him with Carlos Condit.
Nick Diaz has been saying a lot of things about me, and it was the fight that everyone wanted to see because it was champion in our organization and I was champion in the UFC, so it was kind of some sort of, not unification, but kind of.
Now it looks like they get to save money and I don't get paid, and I'm locked in a new contract. All these deal makers making deals, you know, all I know is I'm ready to fight, so know, I'm sorry I didn't make it to the beauty pageant.
So for me, it's a fight that I truly believe it's way more dangerous, and I think it's pedigree. Just his pedigree as a martial artist is better than Nick Diaz. I think he's a better fighter than Nick Diaz.
George St-Pierre originally planned to defend his welterweight title against Carlos Condit at UFC 137, but a left knee sprain caused him to bow out.
Today, in a surprising move, Dana White put Diaz back on the UFC 137 card to face BJ Penn. But the strange thing about this whole situation is for years, Nick Diaz called out GSP and said he got no respect from anyone in the sport, making his actions mind-boggling.
Can you talk about maybe what the build-up to this card has been like for you personally?
Yeah, it's been one of the weirdest cards ever that I've ever dealt with, but this is a big fight. Obviously, Nick Diaz was lined up to fight George St-Pierre, and now he's fighting BJ Penn, but it's a big deal.
Is there still kind of some bad blood there with you and George, or not really?
I never felt like there was any bad blood. I think someone quoted him on him saying he didn't want to fight me before. You know, that's all. But I figure, you know, it's maybe it could be a bad matchup for him, you know, my style.
Were you kept under lock and key last night and escorted here to make sure you didn't escape anywhere to come to the press conference? I mean that in a jesting way.
He's here, guys. I mean, if you guys want to ask him questions about the fight, he's here.
Tonight's main event is BJ Penn and Nick Diaz. There was a whole lot of switching going on in the last 6 weeks with this card. Would you prefer to fight Penn, or would you prefer to fight Diaz after all the things that have happened?
I would have liked to fight Nick Diaz because of everything that have been said and done. I would have loved it.
Nick Diaz!
Nick, first of all, congratulations. Welcome back to the UFC. And congratulations on an outstanding victory tonight.
George St-Pierre, call out that
I see you walking around. You've been screaming, George. What's on your mind right now?
I don't think George is hurt. I think he's scared. I think he's scared to fight everybody right now. What's up? Where you at, George?
Nick Diaz should be out here in a few minutes. BJ Penn had to go to the hospital.
You called out George St-Pierre. You were pretty fired up calling out George and mentioned that, you know, potentially, you know, he may have been scared or he was faking the injury. Can you expand on that?
I was supposed to fight George St-Pierre, not BJ Penn. And I don't mean to sit here and make excuses all day, but that was the fight that I was looking for. Because apparently I'm not too important, but I think that if I were in his position, I would have wanted to you know, fight the Strikeforce champion. You know, they made a whole big deal out of that, unifying the titles.
I've known George St-Pierre since 2004. Since 2004, I've never seen him like he was tonight. George St-Pierre flipped out tonight. He's the most disrespectful human being I've ever met, and I'm going to put the worst beating you've ever seen on him in the UFC, is what George St-Pierre said. Nick needs motivation. He's got it. He's going to fight George St-Pierre. We're hoping to do this thing Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas.
I got to come off like that just to get a fight. I got to be the bad guy. You're going to point the finger, make me the bad guy. I'm the bad guy, now I get a fight.
Why do you feel that people are against you? Because I feel like a lot of people.
Why I'm getting this fight because everybody wants to see me take an ass whooping right about now. So all right, I'm ready. I'll take my ass whooping. I already worked for it. I'll take my ass whooping. I'll take my money, and I'll go home.
I feel like maybe you're misunderstanding that you actually do have a great fan base that actually wants to see you excel, not see you fail.
The last time we saw GSP in the octagon. That was April 30th, 2011, when GSP fought his way to a 5-round unanimous decision over Jake Shields. The fight was smooth, but then in training it all went wrong. GSP tore his left ACL apart.
The UFC 143 card was reset. Nick Diaz would fight Carlos Condit for the interim welterweight title, and GSP would face the winner when his rehab was complete.
When in a perfect world will you be back into hard training and fight again coming off that major knee surgery 5 weeks ago?
In November, I can come back in November.
You think you'll fight before this year's up?
Oh yeah, of course. I hope so.
George St-Pierre is definitely on the fast track to recovery. He's a hard worker. He's a freak of nature. So
who knows? Maybe George isn't really hurt. You know, I've been seeing any pictures. of surgery because I haven't. I don't know, maybe they are all everywhere and everybody knows about it, and I just haven't seen it. I want to see like some photograph, video. You know, I'm not saying, hey, George is you know, he ain't hurt. Like, I don't know. You're working out already? I'm like, get surgery. I've had friends that had surgery on their knee. I figure I let you chop my knee open. I ain't gonna be fighting next year.
GSP has been all over the media saying that he really wants to beat you and fight you, and he wants you to win on Saturday night. He's rooting for you because he wants to beat you that badly and teach you a lesson. What do you make of that? Because that's not something that we usually hear from George.
I think that they were, you know, just a lot of people are putting a lot of pressure on him to say these sorts of things. It's not really him. I think he should just stick to what he does.
Nick, obviously you've said coming into this fight that you think Carlos is actually a bigger test than George St-Pierre. Can you point specifically as to why you think he's a better fighter, what it is about him that makes it a tougher fight?
I think he's more of a dangerous fighter.
George St-Pierre, the welterweight champion, has said on numerous occasions he wants Nick Diaz to win tonight so he can put a fist in Nick Diaz's face.
Man, Carlos is spoiling the party now.
And it is over. The judges will render their decision.
Hope you win, my friend. Hope you get it.
The natural born killer, Carlos Condit.
George St-Pierre will return to the octagon on Saturday night in Montreal when he takes on Carlos Condit, and that is when a long and grueling layoff will finally come to an end.
This time in the octagon, I had a blast tonight. I was getting hit. It was painful, but I had a lot of fun, and I love my job, and thanks to everyone for the support. I don't care the critic, what they say. I fought. I give everything I had tonight, man. I use my body with the tools I have, the best as I can, and that's why I win fight.
George St-Pierre is the champion. The champ wants to fight Diaz. You know, the guy's never asked us for anything. He's an awesome champion. He does anything we ask of him, and he asked us for a favor. So he wants to fight Diaz. It's not like people don't want to see it.
Nick and I were supposed to fight before, and this is the fight that everybody wants to see.
Straight up, I mean, other than that, I'm the #1 martial artist, not because I'm disrespectful, I got a bad attitude, and I deserve to get beat down. That's what you said, right?
You seriously believe I'm afraid of you, man?
You're over here trying to talk shit. Why don't you just drop it? Why don't you just say, look, we're going to go out, we're going to have a fight.
There is a story between us. It's a big fight everybody wants to see. Nick wanted to have that fight for a long time.
I've been promoting this fight since I was fighting in Elite XC.
I want to fight the guy who's ranked the best. And I believe the best guy right now, it's Nick Diaz.
I don't believe that he asked for this fight. I don't believe it for 1 second. Why is that? I don't believe that because he never said that. He never said anything to the camera. He never looked at the camera, never said nothing to the camera.
You told the fan I was scared of you and avoiding you.
Yeah, I got the fight too, right? You can understand that. I'm working towards something here, all right? Everybody knows that. So I had to do that to get the fight. But, you know, they're selling you all wolf tickets, people. You're eating them right up.
You think I'm afraid of you, man? Are you crazy in your head, man?
Why are you mad, bro? Because you're full of shit and everybody knows it?
I'm not mad at you, Nick. I don't wish you a bad life.
All right, well, I understand you got to pump the fight and, you know.
I didn't say nothing bad.
Things didn't go well for you.
The people like to see fight when there's emotion. I mean, I don't focus on that right now. I'm focusing only on my fight, and that's it.
They like to make me look like the bad guy. George likes to say I remind him of the bullies that picked on him growing up or they had to deal with. You know, I'm going to say, like, how many times you had a gun to your head, George? How many of your best friends been shot through the chest with a .45? How many of your best friends been stomped, put to sleep into a coma? You know, we all had to deal with these things in life. If it wasn't for what I went through, I wouldn't. Who knows if I would have made it in life? Who knows if I'd be who I am today?
Well, I don't wish nothing bad to you. Nothing. It's a fight, and the best man will win. That's it, you know. I'm going there. Gonna do my best. The best prepare I can be.
George here is selling you wolf tickets. Dana here is selling you wolf tickets. The UFC is selling you some wolf tickets. You guys are eating them right up.
I'm not scared of you. You'll see Saturday if I'm scared of you.
All right. All the selling of wolf tickets and all the things that happen leading up to this fight, there's going to be a fight on Saturday night. You know what I mean? These two are going to fight on Saturday night, and I agree. They are two of the best. You know, he's the champion, has been for years. Nick Diaz has been around for a long time. And listen, all the stuff that Nick Diaz says and does, one thing that he does do, when he goes in and fights, he fights.
That was the loudest applause I've ever heard in my life.
GSP, a hero here at home.
Good jab landed right away by Nick. Takedown by George. Full guard by Nick Diaz. He's got an arm wrapped up. Good elbow right away.
George so strong and well conditioned.
He's got one hook in. Big takedown. Big slam by George. So far, all George.
Yeah, big first round for the champion.
Win or lose, here's the big.
A little bit of taunting begins.
Nice jab by George. Looking for the high kick. Oh, nice shot to the body there by Diaz.
Nation by the champion. Nick Diaz pushing forward.
A big right hooks by Nick Diaz. Good left hand by Nick.
Final 10 seconds of the fight. And they go the distance.
No animosity at the end of this.
And still, the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, George Rush St-Pierre.
George St-Pierre is with the commission. He'll be out in a minute. Nick Diaz said, I am done. My job is over. I'm out of here. I said, okay.
Are you finally glad that this whole Diaz saga for the past 5 years has finally come to an end?
Yeah, but yeah, it was a fight that everybody wanted to see, and a fight that I wanted to have as well. So I'm happy it's finally done, and I have to go to another chapter in my career. You know.
At the end of the rounds, when it looked like he was trying to take a late swing, or it looked like he wanted to confront George after, do you think that was his attempts to still try to get in George's head?
No doubt about it. That's exactly what he was trying to do. You know, that's his style. His whole style is to either get in your head and intimidate you, or get in your head to make you fight his kind of fight.
I didn't really try to take that shot. I just threw it across his face. I know it sounds like some bullshit, but I really wasn't gonna hit it with it. I was just being really mean. I was just being really mean out there.
It was animosity before the fight. Then after the fight, yes, it's true, we hug. And then right when I went to do an interview with Ariel Helwani said that he just said that I hit like a girl, that he want to fight me in a rematch immediately.
I want a rematch.
I guess we're back into where we were.
I wouldn't hesitate for 2 seconds to take a fight with a rematch. I think I can win. I think I can beat you. That's what I think. You know, and I appreciate, you know, he's a great fighter, and he does what he does to win. And you know, he knows that he decided to say, hey, look, you're the guy, and that's why I'm here tonight. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got this fight in the first place. But I don't really have anything else to say, and you know, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, today everybody knows, it's not a surprise. I announced my retirement. There's no tears. I'm very happy to do it. It takes a lot of discipline though to retire on top. It was a long process in my mind, but it's time to do it. Only a few people have done it, and I always said that I want to retire on my own and not be told to retire. So it takes disciplines, and in combat sport and full contact sport, that's how you should retire. You should retire on top, and that is very hard to do. And I'm happy I had the discipline and the wisdom to do it.